The evolution of James Bond. This is a Pop Trigger original in that this past weekend I watched a James Bond marathon and I observed something and I want to talk to you guys about it right now. Okay, so beginning with the earlier James Bond from 1970s, Sean Connery, he was out of shape and quite hairy. Now let's move on to the 1980s James Bond, Roger Moore, who was also especially out of shape and hairy. Pierce Brosnan, late 90s, early 2000s, better shape. Pretty good shape. Less hairy, still hairy. Late 2000s, Daniel Craig. And a lot of people were up in arms because they thought that Daniel Craig was, you know, not a typical James Bond in that he was blonde and blue eyes. No, people, the relevant issue here, he's clearly cut and he's waxed and hairless. Thoughts, 5 words or less.
Can Sam keep saying hairy?
Vodka martini, shaven, not furred.
Ooh.
It makes sense because now strong. Yeah.
I don't like wax chests. I think they're weird, but we'll get into that. So let's talk about what were your thoughts of the physical appearance changing over the years of James Bond?
I think it's great.
There was, the idea of being in shape has changed since the 1960s. Back then, there was one person who was in shape. It was Jack LaLanne, and
Who?
even then he was like 90 years old.
Who's Jack LaLanne?
Well, an in-shape man, exactly. He was like the first, you know, workout guru. And you wore like underpants, like Tarzan, up to here, and you just were all about having like a big area like
so
here. That was in shape.
Was he a workout guy?
He's like the first T90X guy.
Okay.
But that was in shape was just you're not fat.
Right.
And you sit around in those pictures of Sean Connery. You're kind of like a little effeminate, but that's what's sexy.
The fact that there's such a high expectation on women to be in shape, beautiful. The Bond girls have to be models.
Absolutely.
Why can't Bond be sexy as hell?
Okay.
Daniel Craig? Yes.
To be fair, women in the 70s were a lot hairier too.
That's true.
True. That is a great point. And you didn't need to refer like that. I think we all knew what you were talking about, Brett, but I appreciate the hand gestures. Women are, without a doubt, held to this idealistic, almost unattainable physical appearance that we have to live up to. Do you think that this is an example that men now have to as well? As opposed to the past, right?
I hope so.
I think it just makes sense now because now it's like, hey, here's a guy who can literally beat up 40 guys at once. And like looking like Sean Connery, we don't buy it. It's like Michael Keaton in the bat suit. We didn't buy it. Like
Michael Keaton in the bat suit.
You see what I'm saying? Like Michael Keaton's just like a little dude. Like it's like, no, dude, we don't buy your Batman. I'm sorry, I love Michael Keaton, but we don't buy it.
Once you see Austin Powers as the hairy, kind of out of shape guy, making fun of the hairy, out of shape James Bond, you had to do something.
Or do you think that women have this expectation of their men now that have to be clean shaven?
It's more like you have to be feminine. I mean, seriously.
I don't like it. I would rather.
I don't like it either.
I like the mixed signals of like super buff guy who waxes.
I don't. Yeah, right.
I like that. You don't know where it's coming from.
It's too
like
Chippendale.
a guy that waxes. That's weird.
It is weird. I think
but
picture
maybe
it happening.
clean in that area. I'm like cool, but you don't have to wax. You don't have to like shave.
Just keep it trim.
Just keep it clean.
Just keep it trim. You don't need to be out of control. But I think that it's
okay.
Good to know.
But I think it's attractive when a man is a man. That could mean a little dirt under the nails, a little bit of scruff.
Yeah, for sure.
Right?
I agree.
I'm glad if like a quasi-natural hairness comes back. I think those guys do trim their chest hair too. Because if you look at like Sean Connery, it like comes and joins forces into like this river of hair down
Look
the
at
middle.
Robin Williams, man. He brought it back on his own.
Yeah. He grows like hair for everyone who shaved their chest, it grew more on Robin Williams.
Yeah. Like,
That's it for us today. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe to our channel, and if you've already done so, thank you very much. You can leave us your comments, 5 words or less, or whatever the hell you want to say, and we'll see you all next time on Pop Trigger.